Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Wednesday and welcome to Lazy Couch Thoughts. Today, we're going to be talking about the head coaching search that's going on in the NFL. I'm going to probably talk about the top three guys, the top three candidates, trying to predict where they're going. It's just kind of, Russian roulette. You never know who you're going to get right, just kind of random. And then lastly, I'm going to have one additional, kind of surprise guy, under the radar guy nobody's talking about that I think can be really good head coaching in the NFL. So let's start off. We can start with Eric Bieniemy of the Kansas City Chiefs, offensive coordinator. He took over as offensive coordinator in 2018, also known as the year Patrick Mahomes came in. He's been under Andy Reid for years. He was under the Matt Nagy and under Doug Peterson and that Andy Reid coaching tree. So he's been under some good coaches. He's been under some very good offensive minds, and more importantly, he's been under Andy Reid. He's been, kind of a perfect candidate for the last couple of years. He's been interviewed a lot last couple of years. One problem is he doesn't call the plays for the Chiefs. To me, that's a big deal. Personally, it is. It's a big deal. I would rather the guy that's the offensive coordinator there. I want him to be the reason for all this success. To be honest with you, I usually hate the idea of hiring an offensive coordinator that's on the same side as the ball as the head coach, because you don't really know who's running the show, right? The same way that Sean Payton's offensive coordinators never get hired, because everyone knows Sean Payton's running the show. They're just kind of there to get him a cup of coffee. I think Eric Bieniemy's not like that. A lot of players go to bat for him. A lot of people around the league go to bat for him. But him not calling the plays on the Chiefs, him not being the reason why they're successful, is a bit scary. Regardless of how you feel about it, how you want to feel, yada yada yada, it's a little nerve wracking. I could see an owner being like, "Wait, you're not the one telling Patrick Mahomes what to do." Well, that bumps you down a few notches. But at the end of the day, he should have a job. I was going to predict him to Atlanta, but then I decided to predict him to Jacksonville, and here's why. I want Bieniemy working with a young quarterback. Atlanta will probably get a young quarterback this year, or maybe the year after, but Jacksonville kind of has the perfect setup, and Jacksonville's going to get the best head coaching candidate. So if they believe Eric Bieniemy is the best head coaching candidate, if they don't get Urban Meyer, because there's been talks about that, but we can talk about that another day. Bieniemy will walk into a situation of a team that was very scrappy already. They have 11 draft picks this year, including Trevor. They're going to be getting Trevor Lawrence. So you insert yourself with Trevor Lawrence as your base, a first-year rookie Trevor Lawrence, and you get to build from there. That's very appealing. They have $100 million in cap space this offseason. The Jaguars can become a pretty good team within a year or two. It's going to be very, very appeasing to a future coaching candidate. But I think that's where Bieniemy will end up. Whoever ends up there, it's going to be a lucky team. Secondly, we can talk about Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, of course, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. It's another guy. He probably should have a head coaching job by now. I think he'll get it this year. There's 6 head coaching vacancies, and I really think the NFL teams have finally realized that retreads just never work. We should never be retreading coaches like Hugh Jackson and, all these guys. Sorry, Hugh, I just kind of took a ricochet shot at you. It's not you, it's me. It's just my brain right now. A little foggy. But, we use retread guys where coaches get bounced around until they eventually retire. But, it kind of doesn't make sense, right? There's a reason why he got fired. And, personally, sure, he might be, an average coach, a little bit okay, whatever your metrics may say about him. But I would rather take a gamble with a young guy that's, I want to go get, the guy under Kyle Shanahan. I want to go try and find the next offensive genius. I want to go find a guy who's widely respected and regarded across the league, saying that this guy needs a chance. I want to go try and find that guy. I think the problem is a lot of teams are kind of lazy, and they're like, coaching searches cost money, they cost a lot of time. You know what, that guy did a good enough job, let's bring him in. But no, you want to win a Super Bowl, you want to fill in the stands, you want to make money as an owner. You know what makes money? Good product on the field. You know what helps with a good product on the field? Good coaching. You gotta spend money to make money, guys. But it's very frustrating, this whole retread method. But I think Robert Saleh is going to be a great head coach. As you can see what he's done with the 49ers defense over these past few years, the amount of injuries the 49ers defense had this year, and they're still among the top of the league, that's nuts. You're not supposed to be able to do that. And that's a testament to him. I could see him being like a Brian Flores type, like coming in and right away just like dominating and like showing everybody like, yeah, guys, pretty good. Taking a team that's just not, not great, and then going win with them. I saw Saleh to Chargers rumors a lot. I don't want that to happen. I want an offensive guy with Herbert. So I'm going to say he's going to go to Detroit. Yeah, that works. I think he fits in well with Detroit. Detroit's this blue collar town, hardworking. Saleh's this big strength coach, like guy. He's got a pullback coach because he's run onto the field. He's ready to go at it. He's got somebody that keeps him on the sidelines. Like he seems this type of guy that like works hard every day in, day out. Show up to work with your shovel and go to work, and like that's kind of Detroit. And I think that'd be a godsend for Detroit, considering what their defense has been over the past few years with the defensive mastermind, Matt Patricia. Oh, yeah, for the record. We can talk about that another day. Lastly, Joe Brady. As you may know, he's regarded as an offensive genius. He was a Penn State graduate assistant 4 years ago, and now he's a head coaching candidate. It's nuts. That's what happens when you get an internship with the Saints, start moving up in the Saints system fast because everyone's impressed with how much you know, and then you get hired by LSU and you become basically their offensive coordinator, because he wasn't supposed to be, but then he just ran the entire offense, and then it leads LSU to the best season in college football history, best offense in college football history, turned Joe Burrow from a 6th rounder to first overall pick to generational type talent, having 3 1,000-yard receivers, having 3 or 4 people with like 10 touchdown catches or more. Like, you can do that stuff, and then you get noticed. So then Carolina hires you. Matt Rule pulls you out of college, says, "Come with me," and then you turn that Carolina offense that didn't have Chris McCaffrey all year, who had a lot of injuries, who had a very conservative Teddy Two Gloves, and you had a good offense. Like DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson both had over 1,000 yards. Like, there's only one other team in the league that had 2 receivers over 1,000 yards. Joe Brady's body of work speaks for itself. I know a lot of people are kind of upset about it, saying that he was giving chances that he shouldn't have gotten so early, but I don't know. It's kind of the same thing as the McVay, and like the same thing as Kyle Shanahan. Like, it was young guys who were noticed very young. They're offensive masterminds. They had that gene in them, and they just kind of fly through the ranks. Joe Brady, I want him in LA. I want him working with Herbert. What Herbert has shown from us, the Chargers are very talented for the record, but what Herbert has shown thus far is very impressive. He looks like a generational quarterback. Like, he looks like a 15-year franchise quarterback type guy. And I want Joe Brady working with him. After seeing what Joe Brady could do with Joe Burrow, I want to see what he could do with Justin Herbert and how much he can improve him. I will say, I think the Chargers job is probably the most loaded with talent. I mean, if you're walking into a team with a core of Herbert, Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, like, that's a good core. And then from there, like, that's a championship type core. You build around that. You grab a couple people in the draft. You get a couple people in free agency. Maybe make a trade or so. And all of a sudden, like, you're looking at a team that can compete with the Chiefs. And at the end of the day, I honestly think that's why Anthony Lynn was let go. Anthony Lynn's a really good guy. I don't think anyone looks at him and says, "Wow, that coach can win a Super Bowl." I think he's an average coach. He's okay, but I wouldn't want him being the head coach of Herbert, because Herbert deserves better. He's so talented. And Anthony Lynn's a great guy. I think he's a great positions coach. He's a great coordinator. A lot of people have said that, but like, you could tell with his time management, his clock management this year, it wasn't great, and into half management. But that goes into my last head coaching candidate, the surprise guy. It's Pep Hamilton. He is the quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator, assistant, or whatever for the Chargers. He's been around the league since 2003. He deserves a job at this point. And there was somebody in that Chargers room developing Justin Herbert and making him better and better every week and dominating the offense with them. And I want to find out who it was, because I know it wasn't Anthony Lynn. No offense to Anthony Lynn, it just wasn't. He's a running backs guy. He's not a quarterback guy. This Pep Hamilton, I want to know if this was the guy working with Herbert, and if he was, I would be okay with the Chargers just hiring him instead of Joe Brady, But there's somebody in that locker room developing Herbert and teaching him and guiding him, and I think it was Pep. I'll be willing to bet that it was Pep. I would want to send him to, I would probably say the Jets. I know, so rude. It's so mean. I shouldn't want to send anybody to the Jets, I know. But the Jets do have a lot of flexibility. They can either stick with Sam Darnold, it's a good option, or you can get Justin Fields, good option, You can put him in a young quarterback room, and that's how it goes. But yep, that's going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's another long one. Friday's coming up, and next time I see you, it's going to be a very happy Friday. So, see you guys then. Peace.